Walking beside you down the street makes me feel oh so good inside. Seeing you every night makes me feel warm and right. Tell me I'm the only one that you love. Tell me I'm the only one in your life. Tell me I'm the only one that you love. Tell me I'm the only one in your life. Tell me I'm the only one that you love. When I look into your eyes, I see the love you have inside. Will that love always be there waiting for me? I wonder if you ever knew all I ever think of is you. Tell me if you feel the way I do. Tell me I'm the only one in your life. Tell me I'm the only one that you love. Tell me I'm the only one in your life. Tell me I'm the only one that you love. All the things that you've done for me, you know I couldn't count them if I tried. If you ever leave me, I'd never, ever survive. I wonder if you ever knew all I ever think of is you. Tell me if you feel the way I do. Tell me I'm the only one in your life. Tell me I'm the only one that you love. Tell me I'm the only one in your life. Tell me I'm the only one that you love.
Tell Me I'm the Only One by my bandmate, my dear friend, my bestie, Fred Wolfert. Merry Christmas, everybody. Belated if you hadn't seen this channel before. Well, you're here now, and that's what counts. So today we're going to talk about the genius of Jim Croce. Why did I have Fred leading us off? I won't get stricken for copyright. But other than that, no, I will, because I got it before from his music company. Anyway, Jim Croce was an artist that my father loved. My father hated 60s, 70s music. He did. The only thing I ever remember him playing in the car, Loves Me Like a Rock, which he liked in 73, and Croce. Bad, Bad Leroy Brown, stuff like that. My father was more into the country thing. The Gatlin Brothers, stuff like that. But I loved Jim Croce even when I was 12 or 13 because he was just a poppy country artist. And that's what came very prevalent in that genre after a while. Now, he was born in 1943. He died at 30 years of age, which is unbelievable. He was an American folk singer-songwriter, and between 66 and 73 released 5 studio albums and a bunch of singles. Now, during that period, Croce took a lot of odd jobs to pay bills, and he continued to write through all of this and record and perform. He formed a partnership with his wife, who was to become his wife, and they released, I believe, an album in 1967. But he had a guitarist, Maury Muehlisen, in the early 70s. And as soon as he started partnering with him, his fortunes changed. Um, in 1972, his third album, You Don't Mess Around with Jim, produced 3 chart topping singles. Time in a Bottle, which was great, reached number 1 after Croce died. It reached number 1. The follow up album, Life and Times, included the song Bad Bad Leroy Brown. That was the only number 1 hit during his lifetime. So on September 20th, 1973, at the height of his popularity, and the day before the lead single to his 5th album, I Got a Name, was released, Croce, Muehlisen, and 4 others died in a plane crash. His music continued to chart through the 70s following his death, which happens often when someone dies, but well deserved with him. Not the death, obviously. Croce's widow and his early songwriting partner, Ingrid, continued to write and record after his death. And their son, AJ, became a singer-songwriter in the 90s, and he's terrific. Doesn't exactly sound like his dad, but he has that Croce magnetism, very understated. Now, many people say he was born in 1942. Officially, it's supposed to be 43, not sure. South Philadelphia, PA, to James and Albert Croce. Not to James and Albert Croce, James Albert Croce. That was the father's name. Flora Mary Babushi Croce. They both were Italian, and they immigrated from Trasacco and Balsarano in Abruzzo, in Palermo. He grew up in Upper Darby Township, about 7 miles west of Philly, and attended Upper Darby High School. He graduated in 1960. He went to Malvern Prep for a year, and then he enrolled in Villanova, where he majored in psychology and minored in German. He was a bright fellow. He was a member of a campus singing group, the Villanova Singers, and then the Villanova Spires. When the Spires performed off campus and made recordings, they were known as the Coventry Lads. Croce was also a student disc jockey at WKVU, which since has become WXVU in Philly. In 65, he graduated Villanova with a Bachelor of Arts in Social Studies. So in his early career, he didn't take it seriously, music, until he really started studying at Villanova, when he became the leader of the Villanova Singers. Played fraternity parties, coffee houses, and universities around Philly. And he played anything that people wanted to hear. He was a talented guitarist, blues, rock, a cappella, railroad music, anything. And his band was chosen for a foreign exchange tour of Africa, the Middle East, and Yugoslavia. Croce later said that we just ate what the people ate, lived in the woods, and played our songs. They didn't speak English over there, but if you mean that you're singing, people understand. And they did. He met his future wife in 63, Ingrid Jacobson, at a Philly convention hall during a hootenanny. Croce was one of the judges. So he released his first album, Facets, in 66. 500 copies were pressed. It was financed with $500 back then, which is almost $5,000 today. Wedding gift from Croce's parents, who set the condition that the money must be spent to make the album. So they were very much in tow with him wanting to do music. They hoped that he would abandon the music career after it failed. So how in tow were they? Well, they were in tow, make the album so then you can get a real job. Because they didn't want him to go to college and dream of music. They wanted him to go after a more traditional profession. But the album was fairly successful. It sold every copy, which doesn't sound like a lot, 500 copies. But if you're not selling them to all your family members, I guess it's good. So in the 60s, he got married in 1966. He converted to Judaism. Ingrid was Jewish. They were married in a Jewish ceremony. He enlisted in the Army, National Guard in Jersey, uh, to avoid being drafted and deployed to Vietnam, and served on active duty for a few months, left for a week for his honeymoon. He resisted authority, basic training twice. If there's ever a war, he said he'd like to defend himself with a mop. So you see, he was a bit, reminded me of John Lennon with the attitude. So from the mid-60s to the early 70s, he performed with Ingrid as a duo. And they sang Joan Baez, Gordon Lightfoot songs, Aldo Guthrie songs. And then they eventually started writing their own stuff. Now, Lima Steakhouse in Pennsylvania, that was Croce's first long-term gig, and called it the Riddle Paddock. And his set list covered several genres: blues, country rock, folk rock. In 68, they were encouraged by a record producer who he knew from Villanova to move to New York City. They moved to Kingsbridge. It's a section of the Bronx, and recorded their first album with Capitol Records. Now, according to his wife, Ingrid, over the next 2 years, they drove more than 300,000 miles, playing small clubs, concerts on the college circuit, performed as Jim and Ingrid Croce. He became disillusioned. He did. They sold everything but one guitar to pay the rent and returned to Pennsylvania. Left New York. They settled on an old farm in Lindell. He paid $25 a night. To earn additional money, he took odd jobs driving trucks, construction work, teaching guitar, while he continued to write songs. Take it from me, that never leaves you. Often about characters that he had met throughout his passings. Truck stops, local bars, Big Wheel, working at the Car Wash Blues, pretty popular song. So in the 70s, the Croces returned to Philadelphia, and he decided to get serious about becoming a productive member of society. He worked on construction crews. He learned to become a welder, and he was good at it. He learned that in college, and then he really started paying attention to it. But he'd rather do other things than get burned, he said. And then he got the disc jockey shot at WHAT. He'd sell airtime to pool rooms. You want to be cool? You want to shoot pool? He came up with slogans. He was an affable guy. So in 70, he met a classically trained pianist, guitarist, and singer-songwriter, Maury Mulkheisen, and that's who became his lifelong friend until his terrible early death. Now, Joe Salviulo, a friend of Croce's since college, had met Mulkheisen while he was teaching at Glassboro State College in Jersey, and brought Croce and Mulkheisen together. And they hit it off well. So Croce backed Mulkheisen on guitar, and the roles gradually reversed. Mulkheisen became the lead guitarist to country music that Croce was coming up with. Croce's wife became pregnant. He had to make it in the music profession at this point. He sent a cassette of his new songs to a friend and producer in New York City that he had met when he was in New York, hoping it would get a record deal for him. After his son AJ was born, who was now doing music, in 71, Ingrid stayed at home and Croce toured to promote the music. In 72, he got his break. He signed a 3-record contract with ABC Records. The 2 albums, You Don't Mess Around with Jim, and Life and Times, the singles, You Don't Mess Around with Jim, and Operator, That's Not the Way It Feels, brilliant song, Time in a Bottle, all received airplay and positive reaction to the airplay. Now, that same year, they moved to San Diego, and he started to appear on TV, American Bandstand, The Tonight Show, The Dick Cavett Show. So he was getting around. He was. He began to tour the United States with Muehlheisen, large coffee houses, college campuses, folk festivals, but his financial situation still wasn't good. The record company fronted him money to record, and much of the earnings that he was making was paying back the advance. They went to Europe in 73, London, Paris, Amsterdam, Monte Carlo, Zurich, Dublin. Terrific reviews. He made the television appearances on the Midnight Special, and he co-hosted that on June 15th, the Helen Reddy Show in July. And his biggest single, Bad Bad Leroy Brown, reached number one on the American charts in July. So you would think he'd really be moving at that point, which he was. From the middle of July to August 4th, they returned to London and performed the Old Grey Whistle Test. You've seen many great artists on that. Lennon was on that and all that. He sang Lover's Cross and Working at the Car Wash Blues from their upcoming album, I Got a Name. He finished recording the album a week before his death. While on tour, he was getting very homesick, decided to take a break from music, and he wanted to settle in with Ingrid and his newborn son when the Life and Times tour ended. In a letter that Ingrid received after his death, Croce told her that he had decided to quit music, the music business, and wanted to write short stories and movie scripts and withdraw from public life. So he had it from being away from his family, his young family. September 20th, 1973, during the Life and Times tour, it had been scheduled for 45 days. And the day before the single, I Got a Name, was released, Croce was 30 years of age. And Croce and 5 others were killed when their chartered Beechcraft E-18S crashed shortly after takeoff in Louisiana. The pilot was killed. Croce's bandmate, Maury Muehlheisen, the manager and booking agent, Ken Cortez, road manager Dennis Rast, George Stevens, a comedian. It was an hour after they finished the concert at Northwestern State University. They were headed for Sherman, Texas, for a concert at Austin College. Now, the investigation said the probable cause was the pilot's failure to see obstructions because of the physical impairment in the fog. It was rough, and they weren't really too far off the ground. The 57-year-old pilot suffered from severe coronary artery disease, and they feel he could have had a heart attack, possibly. In Fraser, Pennsylvania, was where Croce was buried. So his legacy, it's a great one for a young man. I Got a Name was released in December 73. The Last American Hero, I'll have to say I Love You in a Song, the title track, was used in that series. And it reached number 9 in the United States. Now, ABC hadn't originally released the song Time in a Bottle, but his untimely death lent its lyrics dealing with mortality and wishing you'd have more time. And it has some real meaning, and they released it. A large amount of airplay. And the demand for the single was released because of the album, and they released it. Don't Mess Around with Jim was, I think, 4 or 5 weeks number 1. I Got a Name reached number 2. The Greatest Hits album, Photographs and Memories, was released in 74, a year after his death. Home Recordings, Americana, The Faces I've Been, releases that were released after his death. Down the Highway, Have You Heard? Croce's live DVD and CD releases were coming to fruition, and public were able to get their hands on that. And in 1990, he was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. in Queen's 1974 album, She a Heart Attack, and it included the song Bring Back That Leroy Brown. Yeah. And in 2012, Ingrid published a memoir about her husband. I Got a Name, the Jim Croce story. In 85, Ingrid Croce opened up Croce's Restaurant and Jazz Bar, something she had jokingly discussed with her husband before he died in San Diego. And it closed in 2013. She opened up another restaurant that closed. Just a terrific, terrific artist. And I remember listening because my dad did. Joe, he's good. The name doesn't ring, Jim Croce doesn't ring a bell? Really? I didn't know that, Lee. But Joe, he's was a terrific artist. I believe he would have been very big. I do. Although he stated that he was going to retire. So guys usually don't stay retired. It's in your blood. Writing's in your blood. I've tried to stop writing and I just can't. Because you often have something to say. And if there's no one around to say it to, you say it in a song. That happens a lot. Shout out to my friend Steve and his husband Mike. Great guys. And Steve got really sick. After seeing me for lunch, he got very sick. I know I do have an adverse reaction when it comes to people dealing with me. The reaction that they receive. So I hope it wasn't me. But yeah, some of those songs are great, Joe. Great. I'll put one on. Screw it. I'll lose my advertising for the day. Who cares? This is a really good song. And his son is good too.
Operator, well, could you help me place this call? See the number on the map book is old and faded. She's living in LA with my best old ex-friend Ray. Gosh, she said she knew well and sometimes hated. Isn't there the way they say it goes? But let's forget all that and give me the number if you can't find it, so I can call just to tell them I'm fine and to show I overcome the blow, learn to take it well. I only wish my words could just convince myself that it just wasn't real, but that's not the way it feels. Operator, well, could you help me place this call? 'Cause I can't read the number that you just gave me. Something in my eyes, you know it happened.
Yeah, he was real good. He was real good. And I think he would have been really hot because country music was changing. It was becoming more pop centric. And I think that he had changed a lot of the feeling about pop music going into the country. Islands in the Stream, look at that, 10 years later. That was number one in the Billboard charts, and that was a country song. But there were a couple of really good songs. Working at the Car Wash Blues, really good one.
People, sometimes get a case of mistaken identity about what they should be doing. And there's a story about a guy that thinks he should be ruling the universe somewhere, but he's really working at a car wash. The title's really a long one. It's called I Goddamn Steadily Depressing, Low Down Mind Messing, Working at the Car Wash Blues. Just got out from the county prison doing 90 days for non-support. Tried to find me an executive position, but no matter how smooth I talk, he wouldn't listen to the fact that I was a genius. The man says we got all that we can use. Now I got them steadily depressing, low down mind messing, working at the car wash blues. Well, I shouldn't be sitting in a air-conditioned office in a swivel chair, talking some trash to the secretary, saying, hey now, mama, come on over here. But instead I'm stuck here rubbing these spindles with a rag and walking home in soggy old shoes.
Yeah, they're real good. Emanuele, buon Natale. Just talking about this country phenom that left us way too early, Jim Croce. And his son now is live and does shows around not around this area, I don't believe, but he's been all over the place. And I will show you.
Well, could you help me place this call?
It's Sunday morning on CBS, and here again is Jane Pauley.
On this day set aside to honor our fathers, Jim Axelrod has the story of a son's love for his famous dad and the music they share with all of us.
Well, down the road, when this is past, you see me and you just might ask,
The singer's life reads like a blues song,
how'd I ever make it through
a catalog of loss.
loving you?
Man, it's been a wild ride, I'll tell you.
A.J. Croce lost his father before he turned 2, his sight when he was 4, and later, his home to fire, and his wife to a rare heart condition.
When we lose someone we love, whether it was my father, my wife, my sight, we can decide how we want to bring it into our life. Do we want to dwell on it? Do we want to find the best part of that person, that experience, and keep?
Hard to root against a guy like that. What happened, Emmanuel? Don't tell me that you had too much shellfish or you had a reaction to it. I'm guessing you ate too much of it. No, I know what you mean. It's kind of like turkey. I have never once ordered turkey other than Thanksgiving. And even then, I don't order it. It's in front of me. Yeah, a lot of shellfish, the galamad and all that stuff, which is great. But yeah, Christmas, I reserve it for that time of year. Christmas went quick. It really went quick. It went quick. It went quick. And next New Year's Eve, knocking at the door, and then we're in 2026. For me, no New Year's resolutions, other than hopefully I'll be here next year to not have another one. Yeah, I have, you know what, Joe, I'll have like, turkey breast with, I don't know, provolone on a bagel or something. Yeah, I don't mind that so much. But I would never go to a restaurant and order turkey. I don't think I ever have. Too much shellfish. Oh, God, really, Emmanuel? No, shellfish is, and the salt. I think I gained like 26 pounds that night. But it comes off in 3 days. It's all salt. But anyway, now, do I have a dilemma? Which it's not, because I'm going to do it. I'm about 900 points short this year of being a diamond. Well, to renew January 1st, I have to have 15,000 points to continue to be a diamond in Caesars. I'm 900 points short. And it's a 5-time multiplier up until midnight Sunday, which means that if I were able to get 200 points, which is probably an hour at the table, playing the way I play craps, I would have the 915 points I'm short. So I have to do it. So I'm probably going to go to Atlantic City tomorrow, gut it out for a couple of hours, wait till the snow stops. I'll run down there, and then I'll come back with my renewal of diamond in hand, because you can't get a hotel room in Atlantic City without being a diamond, or it's like $600 during the summer. I pay like $139 if I'm a diamond. So I want to keep that status. Oh, I wish, Joe. And Caesars is the only one doing it. Not any of the Caesars property hotels, just Caesars. So we have to renew this. My Caesars diamond. Got to get that. So I will be on my way tomorrow. My friend's going to come with me. Zuppa de ma. Yeah. That's great. I like the stuff. I like the fried shrimp. I like fried shrimp a lot. The cold calamari salad is better than I used to like the sauce. I don't like it anymore. I never liked sauce. I would deal with it if the calamari was in there, but other than that, no. I like the cold fish salad's fine. The fried shrimp. I don't like bacala. That's about it. But I eat. But anyway, thank you so much for coming in. Jim Croce, the Genius of Jim Croce, all of the great artists. And he was, I think, 30. What a terrible thing. Young man. Really good guitarist, too. Good acoustic guitarist. And his son, I didn't realize the son was blind until I just put that on and shared that with you. I had no idea. What a terrible thing. Lost his wife and house and everything. His father as a young boy, never met him. Or if he did, he didn't remember him. Terrible. But anyway, I'm glad you all got through Christmas this year. Next up, New Year's Eve. I will see you within a few days on here. Thank you for watching the shorts, the music shorts. I really do appreciate it. Have a great, great rest of your evening. Stay safe and warm. Supposed to get 5 to 8 inches, which means 8 inches. If you're in certain areas of the Bronx, you'll be hearing I Poppy. But seriously, be safe. That's what counts. I'll see you guys soon. God bless you. And Merry Christmas.